and Chris, you can go as fast as you want to with it, and we'll touch her. I can answer her questions later. I know her.
Sure.
She works for a company that Al owns called Renaissance Real Estate, and I've worked with her for years. She's great. She has some listings, and she's got a listing she's going to try us out with, and if it goes well, we'll implement the Realtor Partnership Program for all of Renaissance Real Estate, and use it as a base to build the company. I don't know what you're doing tomorrow. I think that you have to be at Pedro's, but if not, there's a developer conference for Miami, and then one on Friday for Broward County. This is where all of the developers get in front of the realtor associations and basically go over all their projects, and then they have some good economics. If you can go, it would be worth it. If not, I am going to be there. Chris Bryan, and I don't think Tony's on the call, at 3 o'clock today, we should talk about, programs for condo developers where we could be their exclusive lender. We don't have to get into it now, but tomorrow would be a great time. I know it's last minute. It would be a great time to hand them a brochure and start a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be, these things are pretty big, and there are 0 lenders in Miami that are going after any of this. I was talking to Aaron and Frank about this. They want to stay out of Miami, but in my mind, shouldn't our underwriting protect us from fraud? I mean, that's what they're there for, right? So,
yeah, I think the biggest issue. Yeah, I think anytime the biggest issue we have is just the final investor piece and whether or not they'll allow us to sell loans from Dade or Brown.
Our underwriter will let us, but we'll know that in underwriting, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll know it in underwriting.
Yeah, we've got some, right? Our products may not be the best, but I think if you're competing, competing on rate or products, it's a commodity, and you're just going to have to get to the lowest, right? Same with real estate. If you're competing on property, it's just a commodity. So we can turn that around where it's about service and expertise. We'll talk about that at 3. How are you today, Chris Bryan? Are you ready to educate us on the Realtor Partnership Programs and all the benefits that it brings to our realtor referral base, i.e. me?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. So we'll go ahead and get it kicked off. Tony's actually seen it. Looks like he's dialing in right now. So once he gets his audio up and running, we'll verify that he's good to go. So we'll go ahead and get it kicked off. We're already kind of running behind. So May, just to start this off, obviously I'm sure Chris has let you in on the program a little bit. You probably have a little bit of an idea of what we're doing. But this is, this is something that we offer free to our realtor partners. We actually have a team that sets this up and does all the heavy lifting for you, so you won't have to worry about any of that as far as taking time out of your day. And this is something that we try to do to help you actually gain more listings and sell those listings that you have a little bit faster. So again, it's our Realtor Partnership Program, and the first piece of it is, the idea behind the program is a simple one. Chris actually found this article, and Crippen probably doesn't believe that I actually read any of the things that he emails. But there was a study that the National Association of Realtors and Google got together and did last year, trying to figure out what direction home buyers are going in, and exactly when they're starting to actually get online to search for homes. And some of the information that came from the study was kind of mind-blowing. I mean, obviously we know everybody's getting online, searching areas like that, and just making sure that, searching for homes prior to even talking to real estate agents. But it goes a little bit higher than I would have even expected. 9 out of 10 home buyers currently are utilizing the internet in some form or fashion. They're actually relying upon it whenever it comes to home buying. So I wouldn't have thought that 90% of them would be doing that, but that's what the study had found. The real estate searches on Google and Yahoo and even YouTube have just been exploding. The growth was 253% in last year alone, just on Google. So basically what it comes down to is, you've got all these buyers out there. They're getting online even before they talk to real estate agents, and it's more important now than ever to make sure that you've branded yourself properly across the internet and make sure that that listing that you've got is getting all the exposure it can have, and all the ability to be seen by those buyers. To put it into the perspective of my generation, I actually talk to a lot of people that are my age that typically have already found the home that they want to look at, and a lot of times find the home that they want to purchase before they even talk to a real estate agent. So hang tight. Let me unmute Tony and make sure he can talk. Tony, are you there, buddy?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. So you've already seen, it's Chris and May, and obviously me. So you've already seen this. If you've got any questions, again, this is pretty, open forum here. So if you've got any questions as we're going, as having seen this the second time through, just let me know. If there's anything that I covered the first time that I don't touch base on, remind me, and we'll definitely make sure May understands that as well. So this is, Chris wants this to be as much of a learning experience for you as it is for her.
And this will be the second recording I've got. If you've got any more, send them to me so I can take the best parts and click one.
Yeah, we've got a few. Eventually we probably want to try to find something. The audio on GoToMeeting is not the best, but eventually we may want to find something that we can do to get better audio on it if you're trying to chop it up and whatnot.
Yeah. So. Really fast, just to circle back, since May has never met you, nor can she see you, what's your generation and your age?
I am 32 right now, so I would not even be the youngest of the generations by any means. So, but yeah, I mean that's a good point. And I mean, I literally just purchased a home about 2.5 months ago. My wife found the home on the Homes.com app on her iPhone. She was on Homes.com and Zillow every single day searching the properties that were available. We had a realtor, and we literally, handed that realtor the home. We went to see it, and we ended up buying it. So, I mean, obviously, utilizing this technology and being a part of it, either with your listing or advertising on there, I mean, it's a huge piece at this point. And you're going to be able to get in front of just an absolute enormous amount of potential buyers. So that was kind of the background for part of the reasoning behind wanting to help realtors brand themselves. We talk to a lot of real estate agents that just really don't know where to start, or maybe they just don't even have the time to do it. They possibly are at independent real estate offices that don't do a lot of marketing for them. So we came up with this system. It's extremely robust. What we talk about today is only going to touch kind of the surface of what it can do. After this webinar, I'll send you an email with all of the other items that can be done from within the system by our team for you, so that you know what you're able to get accomplished. And then it also will have some examples. Yes, sir.
So I think you're going to cover this, but for May, as you look at this, we're presenting to you what we can do for you, but just in the back of your mind, this is you presenting to a customer and what you can do for them. So on
That's
your
exactly
listing,
it.
Yeah, you can show them that, look, we do all of this, and it's just another, they don't have to worry about the digital revolution because we're taking care of it for you.
Exactly, and so as important it is for a buyer to be online and looking for homes, the sellers understand that too. They understand. They may not know that 9 out of 10 buyers are online looking for homes, but they know a significant portion of them are out there. So whenever you can present the maximized internet marketing for that potential seller, you're going to have a better shot at actually scoring that listing. So yeah, I mean, there's actually listing. One of the pieces here, listing presentation, Flipbook. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but that is part of the idea. Not only is it to help you sell properties quicker, but it's also to help you gain those listings. So it's like I said, there's a ton of items that go into it, but the actual foundation of the program is based around these websites. So we know that realtors these days either have they may have their own agent website, and they most likely have an office website. So we're going to help you by branding outside of what you've already currently got working for you. So every single one of your listings that you have, be it 1, 2, 3, or 50, each one's going to get set up with its own independent URL. So this is a standalone website, but it's also built on kind of a web of other sites, so that it's able to be searched for on Google a little bit easier. It's going to come up. We do a lot of search engine optimization. We put on the back end of these websites, we put a lot of the local search key terms. So as you're setting up these properties, if you know that a lot of the buyers are looking for a certain school system or a certain area in particular, let us know what those keywords might be for that area, just so that we can make sure that those are added into the site, so that as people are searching Google or Yahoo, they're finding these property sites as well. So these property sites are kind of like a standalone open house, virtual open house for your listing. We actually merge the majority of the information straight off of the MLS. So if you have any additional pictures or any additional information that you want to add to these properties, make sure that you send those over to us, and we'll go ahead and put those on there for you. The best thing about it is that these are actually branded for you and not for us. So Sagamore's not trying to, add you to a bunch of our marketing material. We're actually trying to help you do more business and become a preferred lender through the, the ability to help you do that business. So the only places you'll find our information would be on the financing piece on these websites. We do have to have our information on there as far as HUD regulations are concerned. And then also on a couple of the flyers that have financing information on it, you'll see our information on there as well. So other than that, it's completely all about you. It's going to have your profile picture, all of your contact information. It'll be linked to your website, your email, your logo, obviously, for your company. It's completely approved by the NAR, so you're not going to break any of the regulations that you currently have to follow as far as advertising online or advertising your company or yourself. So it's this is the foundation of the program, and then from that we take that website and we actually syndicate it. So in the Florida market, we syndicate to about 84 different websites. These are a couple of the bigger ones that you may or may not have heard of. Some of these sites your property will already be listed on, and what we're actually going to do is insert the web address for the property site that we just set up. So now if a buyer is on one of these sites, they're looking at your home, they're actually going to have the ability to click on that link, and it's going to take them to our property website as well, so that they can get even more information about that property. So again, syndication is the key, and mass exposure on the internet is obviously always the key as well. So the more places we can find, the more places that we can find or the more places that we can find your property, the better opportunity you have to get in front of those buyers, or to showcase what you're able to do for your sellers. On top of that, if you've got a Facebook page, we actually have specific apps that we can help you out with as far as showcasing your current listings. Most people with their real estate Facebook page will just post a new listing, and the problem with posting the listing is that it as people comment, it drops down to the bottom of the list, and it kind of is out of sight at that point. So what we've got is actually the ability to go in and add a spot on your Facebook page that says view my listings, and then all of your current listings will be available there, so that anybody that's on your page can view those from there. Also, if you have a YouTube account, we can actually add the virtual tours directly to YouTube on your behalf. All we need to do is just have you put your information into the system so it'll syndicate properly. If you
Chris,
don't
can
have
I interrupt? I have a question.
Absolutely.
So do you have so let's say that they've only got a couple listings. Do you have IDX integration on the Facebook app? Do you know? Is that
yeah, unfortunately it's not IDX integrated, but it will automatically pull from our system. So as you add or subtract or sell or change values on properties, it'll auto pull from our system as we change those. So that's the biggest piece about if you do the Facebook merging, is that as long as we're up to date with what you've got going on, your Facebook page will be up to date as well. So, and then it's also a great way to kind of showcase the properties that you've listed and sold in the past. We can mark them as sold, and then those will drop to the bottom of the list, so that you can kind of build up that database and look at what I've done in the past, and look what I can do to help you sell your home as well. So, does that answer your question, Christopher?
Yes, sorry, I got it unmuted. What do you call it? Just a side note for you. So there's a little kid here. He's 12 years old. He told me the other day that Facebook is for grown-ups and Instagram is for kids. So what that says is that Instagram is the next revolution coming along. So if we don't have anything for that, we should look for something for that.
Yeah, let me look into it as far as what we can do with that. There may be an option for us to set it up so it auto-posts. But with Instagram, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And I mean, then it's, Vine and all those other things that they're getting into at this point. But I mean, the problem with it is that the Facebook page is more like a website, so you can actually add these apps to it, and you can add current listings and that sort of thing. With Instagram, like for instance, we have the ability currently to post on Twitter, so we'll probably be adding the Instagram piece here as well. But it's the same as when you post it on Facebook. It's going to drop, so you can put it on Instagram. You can, you could put, you can put the information about the property or a snapshot of the website or whatever you need to do. But I mean, it's going to end up dropping after, an hour. It's pretty much at the bottom of the list. So that's, I agree. No, that's fine. I love it. And I mean, I agree. I mean, you definitely want to be hitting as many social media outlets as you can these days. So,
and when you're, and for me, really fast is that, so, you'll get in front of people who are like 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and they don't understand it. It kind of blows over their head. So, you can confuse them with the information, but at the end, you can tell them, don't worry about it. We have it covered for you,
Exactly. And I mean, for as much as this is branded for you, by all means, take credit for it. Make sure that they know that this is something that you're doing to help, sell their homes, and we hope that you gain as many listings as you get in front of. So yeah, and then so back to the YouTube piece. What's that?
Really fast. So one of the things you mentioned earlier that we should mention is that so it is co-branded with Sagamore Home Mortgage. So why is that a benefit for a realtor? And so you use that as a benefit with your customers, and you tell them that we partner with a lender so that we make sure that our customers are pre-qualified before they look at your home, so that we don't waste anyone's time. So it is a benefit that you partner with a lender, where most people will never get pre-qualified until they find a home they want and waste everyone's time. We do it the other way. Just to sum
yeah, that's absolutely. And these days it's more important than ever. I mean, it's much more difficult, obviously, to get qualified. So you definitely want to make sure that the person you're talking to doesn't think that it's still extremely easy and that sort of thing. So absolutely, I agree with that 100%. So back to the YouTube piece. YouTube actually jumped, and I think it just got overtaken again by Yahoo, but for a while there, it was actually the second largest search engine, mainly because that's a great place to go and just whatever you want to search for. Obviously, a lot of people don't want to read, so now it's like you can search for anything, and there's going to be a YouTube video available. So a lot of times,
I'll give you a fast. I know that everyone's in a hurry, but I'll give you a fast fact. 44 hours of YouTube uploads occurs every second. 44 hours of video is uploaded every second of every day. 44 hours
That's
for
incredible.
Every second. That's crazy.
That is incredible. And when they did again, this goes back to the study between the NAR and Google. When they started interviewing people and asking them, as far as looking at online video for homes or online as far as the video walkthroughs and the tours of the homes and things like that, what sources are you utilizing to view these videos for the homes? And 51% of the people interviewed said YouTube. So, I mean, more than going to your broker website, more than going onto Google and searching for it, they're going to YouTube and they're searching for homes. So if you don't have a YouTube channel set up, you definitely want to get that put in place. And then, like I said, if you set up the channel for yourself, then all we have to do is sync our system to your channel, and every property we set up, that virtual tour will automatically post to your website or to your YouTube channel. So there you are. You've got your ability to reach that 51% of people that are looking on YouTube. And again, it's all about exposure and making sure that you get the maximum opportunity to actually be in front of those potential buyers. So that, again, that is one piece that the system automatically does. And virtual tours, as far as those are concerned, and again, we'll go into some of these websites and take a look, but typically we create those based off of the pictures that we've pulled in from the MLS. If you actually have a service that's doing the virtual walkthrough, we have some people that utilize Tour Factory, and they'll go through and actually do a walkthrough of the property. You can actually send those videos to us, and we can put those on the website, and then in turn, that'll automatically post to your YouTube account as well. But they're customizable. We can have you actually do a voiceover if you are interested in doing something like that to give a full description of the property. The standalone version of these will also be emailed out to you, so that if you want to add those to Facebook, or if you want to add it to whatever social media site that you're working off of, you can go ahead and just post those straight from that link that'll be sent to you. You asked, May asked the question, do we have any brochures that she can give out? This is better than a brochure. We do have brochures that we can send you, absolutely, but this is actually better than a brochure because this is a website that will be created for you, and it's actually a listing presentation flipbook. It's also kind of an overview of what this marketing site does. So when your account is set up, this is one of the sites that'll be sent to you. All you have to do is save that, and you can open it from any website, any tablet, any phone. You can actually open it up on your iPhone, and it fits in the screen perfectly. And basically, it's a great way for you to sit down with that potential listing and say, hey, these are the other things I'm going to do to help sell your home. On top of all the stuff that you're expecting me to do, I'm going to get in here and do these things as well online to make sure that we've got you branded. So as you flip through these pages, you can either read it to the borrower or kind of give an overview of what it's talking about, or you can email this link to the listing, and each page actually will talk about something that's being done, like, for instance, the setting up the website for the property. And then it's going to have a link on that page that the person or yourself can click on, and it'll pull up an example. So for everything you describe to them, you're able to click on a link and show them an example of it in real time. So it's a really good way to first of all, the system is, a little bit technical. So, I mean, it's an ability for you to not have to worry about, am I going to remember everything? Am I going to be able to sell this, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, this is it's a great tool. And, I mean, I've actually got it embedded in my signature line for my email. So whenever I'm sending out an email, it says, we do more to help realtors sell their properties. Click on this link to see why 85% of our business is purchase business, realtor-driven purchase business. So anybody that's on my has gotten an email from me has the ability to click on it and check out the listing presentation flipbook as well. So it's this is definitely one of the most valuable tools. The other tool that I would say would be the second most valuable is the ability to create the sign writers with the call capture technology. So we can't actually give you the sign writers, but we do have the technology, which is typically the piece that you'll end up spending the money on if you've ever looked into doing this. So for every property that we set up, it gets a text for more information number. So the example property we have here, if you were to text the number 1 to 79564, your phone's going to receive an immediate reply with information about the property and then the website link to that property. So you click on that website link, it's going to be the complete website that we've set up. Nowadays, the majority of the phones are smartphones, so it's easy for us to be able to do that. And then, they're going to have all the information about you. You're going to have all the information about your office, and then, of course, about the property. So the goal here is to create a rider that goes along with your sign that's in the yard for that listing. The rider could say something along the lines of, if you'd like a full virtual tour, or if you'd like more information about the property, or for an listing flyer, and then it gives the information. So as the buyers or potential buyers outside that property looking at the home, instead of having the flyer box out front where they'll go and they'll grab the flyer and they'll run off with the flyer and you'll never have the chance to contact them, they can utilize this technology to have the site sent straight to their phone. And the best part about it, obviously, is the call capture. So what it's going to do is immediately it will send you a text with that person's phone number. Yeah, there you go. So May's already actually tried it out. She thinks it's pretty cool. Yeah, so it gives you the ability in what it would do if that was my listing that you just texted about, it would send me your phone number. Now I've got the option to text you and say, hi, I noticed that you're outside the house. Didn't know if you had any questions or if you'd like to set up a showing. We actually have an open house, this Sunday from 1 to 3, or whatever you want to do. Or if you'd like, you can try to actually call them. We do have a lot of realtors saying that the texting to them works really well, because if they're utilizing that text technology, then they're probably easily they're probably more likely to text you back than actually answer the phone call. So we've got that. Yeah, exactly. No one wants to talk anymore. So yeah, so that is one of the biggest and most valuable pieces of this program. I've talked to agents that tell me that to get that piece set up for their listings, it's about $20 a month per listing. So we've got the technology. You can create the sign writers. So let's say you have an average of 2 or 3 listings at a time. You can create the writers for those listings, and then as you sell 1 or 2 of those or all of them, we'll just take that number and utilize it on the next property. So you never have to, it's not like you have to buy a new sign writer for each property. We'll just switch it to the next one that you get set up. So again, the only bad thing about it is that it takes a little bit of time to get that sign put together. But the realtors that are utilizing these writers, they're getting a few texts a week, and it's again another opportunity to touch base with that potential buyer that would have just grabbed a flyer and ran. All the flyers also have the QR codes. Jump over here. We do have 4 or 5 different open house flyers automatically generated on every single website. So once you've gotten the website from our team, you can forward it on to the sellers, and obviously you want to make sure you show them what you've done to help sell their home. Forward the website link, forward the virtual tour, and then you can forward the listing presentation flipbook also, so that they have an idea of everything that's gone into what you've done for them. So forward that on, and then let them know, hey, in case you need open house flyers for whatever reason, let's say you're going to church that evening and you want to hand them out to your friends there, or you want to, whatever the reason is, or if they want to put some flyers in a flyer box, they have the ability to just click on that open house flyer and it's good to go. It's ready for them. So that's an example of one of the flyers right there. Nice layout, gives all the information about the property, and it takes something off of your plate if you're kind of in the one that has to do the open house flyers for your property. The loan officer also has a database. We've got about 1,200 different options for open house flyers or for product specific. So I don't know if you guys have any big VA areas, for example, or any big USDA areas that you might be a part of. But if you have a listing that you think would be really good with that type of product, it's always nice to have those available. Chris Griffin. Nope. Okay. Thought I heard you.
No, sorry. And when you call me, I'm on mute, so I need a second. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. Somebody had talked. I thought that maybe you had a question. So, okay. So then another piece of the program that you can utilize if you're looking to try to drum up some more business. The for sale by owner market, I know it's getting pretty hot down in the Florida areas where the properties are moving quickly because they think, well, I don't need a realtor. Properties are flipping so quick. So one of the things we can do, if you're interested in trying to go after FSBOs and trying to convert them, or if you're just interested, hang on a second, we have power outage. Tony had a power outage. Okay, so. Okay, Tony, so I just sent you the PIN number, so you need to call back in and then use that PIN number to access the audio. Hopefully it works. So, Nate, if you are interested in trying to gain some business through FSBOs, either by trying to convert them to a listing a month or so down the road, or trying to get that new purchase that they're planning on doing while they're selling their home themselves, what we can do to gain, to give you an edge against other realtors that are trying to convert these FSBOs, is we can actually let you utilize our Realtor Partnership Program to help market that seller online. So now they gain access, instead of having to sit there and post their property on every single website that people go to for real estate these days, we can actually do it in one fell swoop, just knock it out for them, set up the website for them. Everything we talked about here, they would have the ability to access. And then the only thing they wouldn't have would be the ability to have their property on the MLS site in your area. So now you can say something along the lines of, hey, we'll give you, 30 days of this advanced marketing system that's obviously going to have every shot possible for them to sell this home themselves. And if you can't do this in 30 days, if you can't sell your home in 30 days, let me sit down with you and try to talk to you about why you need to list this property with a real estate agent. And then, so what would happen is whatever time frame you decide to set up, just let us know once it's done. We'll deactivate their account and it'll pull their listing, and then it'll, then they'll be back on their own. And at that point, you can go in and try to get that kill. Okay, so Tony, go ahead. If you've got any questions or anything, just put them through the question box like you just did, and I will get those answered for you. No, he's having issues with his audio. So that's, again, that's another tool. If you are looking to try to kind of build your business through FSBOs, we've actually got a nice little 3-page document that kind of goes over some of the strategies you can utilize, like the one I just talked about, and some of the areas you can go to try to find those for sale by owners to contact them directly. So more information about that available if you would like. Oops. Okay, do I need written authorization from the for sale by owner? Well, the good news is that they're not going to you're not going to have the information we need unless they're willing to give it to you. So the problem with a FSBO is that they're not listed on the MLS. So we don't necessarily need written permission, but you're going to have them get in contact with us, or you're going to have to kind of play the middleman, if you will, for it, because we won't be able to pull the info from the MLS like we typically do. So we're going to need all the information about the property, a description of that property, and pictures, which obviously you'll want to make sure that they're doing that since they're not listing. Don't give them any, don't give them any of the freebies. But yeah, we'll need all that info from them prior to setting up the website, and typically we'll be in contact with them at some point. So no, you do not need any kind of a written authorization form or anything like that. But again, those do take a little bit more work just because we aren't able to just automatically take them from the listing website. And then if you currently have a website, or if you currently have your own site or an office site, we can help actually add some tools to those as far as showcasing your current listings. So we can, much like the Facebook widget that we utilize, you can put something on your web page that says, view my current listings. We've got one that like the one that you see right there, it actually is, there we go. So it's actually going to scroll up and down based on how many properties you have. So if you had 20 listings on there, go to the top, it's going to scroll down. Go to the bottom, it's going to scroll up, that sort of thing. I'm sure you've seen something similar. And each of those little boxes that kind of outline what the property is, each one acts as a hyperlink straight to the website. So that way you're able to kind of showcase what you've got listed and that sort of thing. The best part about it is as you update the properties through our website, it automatically updates on your website, on your Facebook page, and everywhere else that you've got for these. So we can help you out with that. Just let us know. And then also, if you're doing any kind of Craigslist ads, we've got really fast, full color HTML Craigslist advertisements for each property. So if you want to put something about an open house on Sunday or whatever you've got that you want to put on there, or if you just kind of like to post your listings every few days on there, we can give you the code. You jump into Craigslist on your account, you just paste that HTML code in there, and it's automatically posting that full color ad in there for you. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these sites. So hang on just one second while I pull this up. All right, so I've got a few examples of some websites that we did in the Tampa area for one of our Tampa teams. So this is actually a team of realtors, and as you can see, it's kind of a templated website, if you will, and we do utilize about 40 different templates. So you may kind of find yourself seeing the same examples of the sites, but it's pretty easy for you to navigate that way and kind of let your sellers know where to go for things. So as you jump onto the web page, you'll see again, we pull the information straight from the MLS. So these days, I'm sure you're doing a great job of putting in that info for the property listing, but these properties are going out to so many websites, not just with our system, but with other systems as well, and your MLS may even utilize something that's currently as far as posting them directly at realtor.com or Zillow or whatever the case may be. So it's always really important to get a really good property description now because it's going out to so many sites. So you want to make sure you've got the best property description you can come up with, and then as many photos as you can come up with as well. So as the buyers are online, they're able to get the best idea of what you're offering to them. So as you jump onto this website, you'll see obviously all the information we talked about. Again, branded for that team. So this is the Gray Roberson team. You've got their office, their mobile. You can click on the website. It's going to go straight to their actual team website that they utilize for their office, so that anybody can get more information about where their office is located and what other listings they've got. The Contact Me, we like to have a lot of points of sale. So we've got the Contact Me right here, instant email. We've got the Find Out More, obviously the phone numbers and everything. So they can put these, they can like it on Facebook. They can, if they're on that Google Plus One. Chris, are you on this Google social media piece? I'm sure you are. You're like the king of all those things. I haven't jumped into it yet, but.
What do you mean?
Google's got their own social media thing, that.
Oh, Google Plus?
Yeah. Are you on that?
I am. You know what? Well, if you want to do YouTube, you got to create a Google Plus account. I mean, if you want to do YouTube the way you can do YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, they own YouTube, so to change, like,
right.
You can
I guess I set up a long time ago, so yeah, I've just got a Gmail for it. So as that buyer's on the website, again, it acts as a virtual open house. So they're going to have access to all the photos that we've got available for the property. I love this house, nice property. It's going to have, the virtual tour that we spoke about. So this is also what's going to show up. On YouTube. So the virtual tour that you see here is much like what we would put together for you on your YouTube channel if you want to get going with that. And then this is what you could post on Facebook or wherever you want to post the video on your social networking sites. It is fully integrated with Google, so it's going to have Google mapping in here. This is we get a lot of out-of-town buyers. In Florida, you probably get a lot of the Midwest and the East Coast buyers looking online, trying to find great deals. They're trying to find properties in certain areas. So this is going to give them, obviously, a really good idea of where the property is located. It'll do the aerial view, the street view, if there is one, obviously. And then, and then the what's nearby function is always nice. So this will give them an idea of, is this a heavily populated area? What kinds of shops are in the area? I know Chris likes to hit the gym, so he's always clicking on this button to make sure there's one nearby. So it gives you the ability to again, it's all about giving that snapshot to that potential buyer to understand, if that's the kind of place that they want to be in. The school system, this is always a big point of concern, especially, where we're located currently. If you've got kids, you want to know, is this property located in a good school system? Is this something that I want my kids to go to? So as you click on these links, it's actually going to give the rating for the school, the community rating, all the information to contact that school, and of course the name of the school. So I actually just saw a commercial for Zillow. They just integrated the same thing, the school system, instant access, and the parents are looking at the house and they're like, we love the house, but we hate the school system. So they moved on to the next one. So it's obviously always going to be a big piece. And then the print brochure. So this is where your sellers can go. Anybody that's online that wants, to kind of keep the information on this property. It's extremely simple. You click on print brochure. It pulls up the brochure. You've got 4 or 5 based on which property it is or which type of template we utilize. You'll have 4 or 5 different of these flyers. So you pop it up, and you just click print right here, and it's going to print perfectly to a single page, 8.5 by 11. It's ready to go. Right here, you'll see it does have the website address. So if somebody's got the flyer and they want to jump on the website, that's there for them as well. And then your text for information is right here as well. And then there's the QR code. Kind of a trendy piece. Scan it with your smartphone, and it'll pull up the website. Only thing about the QR code is it does not capture the phone number, so not one of our favorite pieces of it. And then if you do want to save this flyer as a PDF and email it to other agents or email it out to whoever you need to get the flyer to, it's as easy as just clicking on the Save as PDF and saving it to wherever you want to access it from. Okay, so we saw that property site. I'll show you a couple more because we do have, you know, some, like I said, some different templates. So this one does better if we've got a high definition photo of the property. So if you've got something that's just got, you know, a beautiful view and it's, you know, you really want to showcase the property, we'll probably go with this one. So again, flow is about the same. This actually has the links to your other listings that you would currently have. So if you've got 3 or 4 or 5 properties with us at the time, we'll have them here. And then if you want us to keep the properties active and just slap a sold sign across them, we can do that as well, just to showcase how many properties you've been able to list and sell for your past clients. So same information up here, the mapping, the virtual tour, the photos, the print brochure, everything's going to pretty much flow with the maximum amount of information for that property. Here's another one. Again, all have a little bit of a different look, all kind of have the same idea to them. Now, going into the property, into the listing presentation flipbook. This is what we talked about, where you'll be able to sit down with the potential seller. You'll be able to add this website to your signature line. It's a static site, so it's never going to change. So once we set it up for you, you'll have that property site and that website, and you'll always be able to come back there. And again, our plan for success, the goal of our online marketing strategy is to create demand among multiple qualified buyers so they compete to buy your home. Switch to the next page. You know, here we're going to create a custom website for your home. This is the core piece of our marketing strategy. We click on See Sample. Now, these are all customizable. Thank you. Ooh, thanks. So, thank you. So these are all customizable, which means that any of the pages that you have on your flipbook, we can actually edit the pictures, or we can edit the words, and we can add your actual websites to these examples. So you want this example to be your website that you set up, so that as you're showing it to them, you're like, here's one that I set up for a buyer in your area. We sold it in this many days, and you know, yada, yada. So then you move on to the next page. So we've created the website. We're going to create your online commercial. We're going to create that standalone video for your home. So it goes to here. It shows the example of that video walkthrough. And, you know, this gives you the confidence to be able to showcase what the program does and be able to talk, you know, intelligently about it without even having to remember everything that we actually can do within this system. So you just kind of flip through it with them, or you send it to them prior to showing up and say, hey, review this before I get there so that we can talk about this a little bit. Whatever you want to do. Again, branded for the agents. You won't see Sagamore information anywhere on here. So in a nutshell, that's what we've got. I will be, and this is another version of it, I will be sending you these examples that we talked about, as well as the PowerPoint presentation if you'd like to review that. And then also on this email, we'll talk about some of the other pieces that you can actually utilize once we've got you kind of up and running with your first site. So let me get to the email I sent so I can show you this.
Yes, Shelley, Mr. Mayclover is on that
one. So here's the other items that are available within the website. So some of these we talked about, some of we did not. Complete property website, the posting tools for Craigslist, virtual tours, feedback systems. We can actually track where the viewers are coming from. So if they're coming from other websites like homes.com or Trulia or realtor.com, we can actually track that. Or if they're just coming in organically, we can track that as well. High-def panoramic tours. So if you've got a property that's just got a stunning view, you can utilize a smartphone nowadays and just create that 360-degree picture. We have the ability to put that on there as well. The flyers, the mobile phone compatible, YouTube auto uploads, we talked about that, text messaging. The syndication feeds would be where we're actually putting it on 85 different websites. The website widget, the Facebook widget. There's music options if you want to have the, I think the first tour that I clicked on actually had the music playing. QR codes, snap a tag, voiceover technology, search engine optimized, open house calendars. Now that's another thing we didn't talk about. If you have an open house, we can put that on there so that as people are searching online for open houses for that weekend, it's going to have a really good chance of showing up if they're searching in that area. where am I at? Okay, so push and pull texting. Again, every time that anybody does anything on the website, you're actually going to get a text message for it. If they're trying to contact you with questions, if they've got, if they want information about the property, if they, text for information, you're going to get that text message in real time to make sure that you're able to actually get to it as soon as possible. If you're a member of Realtor.com, we can actually auto-post these for you as well to your actual website on there. And then we've got business card property stickers. You can print these off and put them on the back of business cards. It has all the information about that house. Leave them at the open house so that as somebody grabs your business card, they've got the info about the property right on the back of that. The marketing flipbook, MLS compliant sites, and more. So, again, just a ton of information that we want to try to help you as much as we can to get your listing sold. So now would be the Q&A portion for May, or for Tony, or for Chris Crippen.
Yeah, I think that Tony had some questions. You're saying that his audio does not work, and I thought he had some loan officers had some questions.
Oh, hang on a second. Actually, I think his audio just went back in. Tony, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
There we go. All right.
Yeah, I somehow I got it to work here. I actually don't. I don't have any questions on it, but I'm glad you can at least hear me now.
What do you mean you don't have any questions? You had questions for me yesterday.
Questions on this program?
Yeah. Didn't you say
Really,
you want to go somewhere?
Okay.
And then
here's essentially this is once what we're doing right now is when the stuff comes into us from a realtor, we're forwarding it over to Chris. And my main question is there any way that we can remove that layer of complexity from it so that we can help the realtor more individually? So, because once we have, more activity going on as far as realtors go, you're going to be getting 40 emails a day. Is there a way that we can be more integrated in this process?
Absolutely. So actually on our website, if you look on the right side, there's a realtor login. That's where a real estate agent, if they wanted to, could go into the system, go into their own account and take a look at what's going on with the property. If they want to edit anything or upload anything or change anything, they're more than welcome to do that through there. So that is actually when we set up the realtors, we should have sent over the actual username and password for them. So you can actually log in as that agent and do whatever you want. You can help them update their properties. You can print off those open house stickers that we talked about. You can view, where the leads are coming from, whatever you need or whatever you want to help those agents with. You're more than welcome to jump in there as them and do that for them. So
gotcha.
I can
well,
definitely help you out with that.
That would definitely solve that problem.
Yep, absolutely. So the easiest way, just so you know, the easiest way to look and know what your username and password is. So right here at the top on the, and you're always copied on the initial setup email. So we're going to send that initial setup email. Here's your, your Flipbooks. Here's the link to the properties. And so May knows, and May actually asked, so how much does this cost? And again, May, this is actually a free service that we offer to our realtor partners. So it's actually something that we do to help you gain business. There's no fee involved, but obviously we want to try to create that relationship, that partnership, and we want to try to help you do more business so that maybe you can help us do more business and that sort of thing. So. So as you get signed up, the initial setup is easy. We just need, basic contact information like you saw on this website, phone numbers, email address. If you have a current website that you want to link back to, we need that info. And then a nice headshot, whatever your marketing photo that you typically utilize is. And then the last thing we need is a logo for your company. So you get all that info. We plug it in. We get you all set up. We'll send over your Flipbook. And then, of course, we'll want that the MLS number and the website or the property address for your listing. And then from there, we'll be able to set it up. So every time we set up a new property for you, May, you're actually going to get an automatic email sent out to you with about six different links on it. And it's going to have all of your different links that you need to access that website or to access your videos or whatever it is. Now, everything behind the scenes that we talked about as far as syndicating, the majority of the stuff that we talked about on the presentation happens at the time of setup. So you don't have to worry about it getting put on those websites, things like that, automatically done for you. So then, Tony, back to your question. When you look at the Realtor Flipbook, so this one right here is it's TM Gray Roberson, okay? So that's actually their username, and then we always set up the username as the same as the password. So you're able to log in as them straight from our website, or they're able to log in or whatever you want to do straight from the website with that information. So once it's actually set up, once your account's set up, you can get on there, and there won't be any properties in there, but you'll be able to jump in there for them. There's help walkthroughs and things like that if you've got any questions, and then there's also just the ability to see everything that's able to be done in there. So that's the best way. If you ever have any issues logging in, just let me know. We'll make sure we've got the right info for you. But it's always the username, which is right in that flipbook. So when you receive that flipbook, you'll know, hey, here's how I can log in as them. And then if you want to do that, the follow-up. The biggest piece about this, obviously, for the loan officer is the follow-up, making sure that you're touching base with them, seeing if they have any questions, seeing if they have any new properties, and that sort of thing.
And one other thing I was going to add, Chris, and this is kind of for May's benefit, because I've already been working on this with 3 or 4 different realtors up here in Orlando, is really what you've gone over here is really the tip of the iceberg. What we're finding is that there are ways to utilize on a purchase basis, not necessarily just focusing on the listings, but on a purchase basis, there are facets of this that you can use to actually help drive yourself some purchase business as well. We talked about the call capture, the text capture, which is huge. I've got a realtor here who is going to use that text capture number for obtaining, folks who are going to do first-time homebuyer courses, and he's using that text capture number for that. He's using, I know there are services out there. A friend of mine has it that works down there in South Florida. His name is Lee Rosa, and he's a fairly successful realtor, and he uses pays $395 a year just to get the same exact text capture that we use, and he has it out on signs, and then those texts, whenever somebody texts in, they get routed to myself and to him. So I see his leads from that text capture, and he gets 10, 15 of those, sometimes 20 and 30 a week, depending on the property. So it's a huge opportunity for marketing for buyers, not just for listers. There's so many different facets of this that you can actually use to obtain buyers if listings is not necessarily your cup of tea.
Right, and that's, we've had realtors that wanted to do a website. We've actually created websites in this area for an entire neighborhood. So they wanted to farm a neighborhood. So they had 2 or 3 listings in one neighborhood. They wanted to try to gain as many as they could. So they'd create a website for that neighborhood. And then, as we showed you on, so this one here is a good example of what we would want to use. Let's see here, let's go back to the home on this one. So you could create, so imagine this, so for instance, let's say that you actually created a website for this condominium, okay? So you talk, you've got the name of the condominium, we've got pictures of the condo itself, not just, not just one individual unit. So you would create the website for that condo, and then down here, view the other listings. We would have it separated out so that the only listings that would show on here would be actual condo units in that building that were listed, or if you were talking about, farming an actual neighborhood or whatever it is. So we would have, here's some other listings that are in this neighborhood, that sort of thing. So there's just an absolute ton of ways to use this if you want to get creative. Can you market someone else's listing if it says okay to advertise on the MLS? Yes, we could. The only thing that I wonder, I guess that would be more something that I would rely on you on. So the question is, would you be able to advertise it and have your contact information for it? So if that's, something that's acceptable, as a real estate agent, and, the listing says it's okay to advertise, then yeah, we could do that. But yeah, Tony, the idea of, I think he was even talking about doing a first-time homebuyer seminar or something along those lines, and using signs, the Core Plus signs that you can get for $1 a pop, doing a text for call capture on those, put them all over the neighborhoods or all over town, and we can actually create a website that just talks about that first-time home buyer seminar. So we create a website that the text information goes to. Here's all the information about the seminar. It's going to be this date. Here's the time. Here's where you register. That sort of thing. So I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to how we utilize this system. Condo plans, absolutely. So any documentation that you have, we can actually upload into it. So we've done builder websites, for example, and each site would actually be for their specs, or not for the specs, but for their actual blueprints for the homes that they create custom. So the picture would be just the first picture of the model or whatnot, and then the rest of the pictures are actually blueprints and things that are available. So we can do it that way, or we can add, what happens is it'll actually have on more information, you can actually upload any documents you want. So if for whatever reason you want to make sure that the condo documentation is in there, or if you've got floor plans or whatever you want to do, we can definitely upload those. Yep. So what other questions? Chris Crippen?
None for me.
I'm good. I don't have any. That's good. I hope that May got it. That's it. Thank you very much for your time, Chris, Brian. Tony, you got all your questions answered. Will we have direct access to the guy that does this?
You can if you want.
It doesn't sound like you want us to. Nice
guy.
This is being recorded.
Let's put it this way, man. Yes, you can. Yep.
Why? Is he that busy? Tell me. What's wrong?
No, I just see he's a younger kid, and I mean, that sort of thing.
Okay, you're a younger kid. You're a whippersnapper.
Ha. Right.
Yeah, no worries. That's fine. I mean, I just know that if Tony has questions, they may be. I guess we can hunt you down.
I'll bother Chris. I'm more than happy
to
bother Chris.
Trust me, Tony knows how to get a hold of me. Okay. Tony.
I got no problem finding him.
Multiple times a day.
Wait, Chris. Which Chris are you talking about? The Chris with the girl's name, or me, Chris?
I think he's talking about the girl's name, Chris. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You know I love you. I hope that was recorded. All right, well, that's all we got. I guess, do we have a call at 3 o'clock?
Yes, we do. So, May, thank you so much for your time. Like I said, I'll be sending out some information, just kind of the info we went over and that sort of thing. And then we definitely want to get you set up. So reply with all the info I need for it. I'll remind you what we need, and then let's get this rolling for you.
Well, so do we have someone that who's her point of contact, Tony, for if she has people that need to get pre-qualified, she needs education on current loans. One of the things that realtors make a big mistake, and most people do, is that they don't advertise the payment of the house, right? And I've explained to her why it benefits people to have a payment, right? It's easier for someone in their mind to conceive that buy this house, $500,000. Well, people don't think in $500,000 or $100,000 increments, right? So you look at it and you can use it as a comparative to other similar homes, but it's not relevant. You don't use it every day to most people. But if you can put in your advertising, buy this buy this home for $2,000 a month, now people can relate to it. So it makes sense to advertise. You get a higher conversion rate, and then it immediately puts in the person's mind a question, right? And questions are what you want your buyers to be doing, is to asking questions. So to $2,000 a month, how does that happen? And it gets in the call. So how does she get, who's your point of contact for things like that?
I would say to start out, have me as point of contact is the best way to do it. And then once we've kind of gotten into a rhythm and we know how every realtor is different in the way stuff comes over, I would say point of contact to me, and then as we get working through the relationship, I have 4 people, there's 4 of us here, any one of us who's more comfortable, she's more comfortable working with, and we can service her quickly. And as far as payments and that stuff goes, we can get on these things and usually have it turned around within an hour or 2 at the very most. I mean, we can normally get back to a buyer within 15 minutes.
Okay, and then, well, that's great. Why don't you give your contact information?
Yeah, definitely. My cell phone number, 407-446-5529. We can send that out in an email. And then, of course, my email is Tony D, T-O-N-Y, D as in Delta, at SagamoreMTG.com.
Yeah, and some of the benefits to working with Tony and with Sagamore Home Mortgage, Tony is probably one of the most intelligent loan officers I've actually ever come across, which is, pretty huge these days because, you got a lot of people just kind of part-timing it out there. And then he's extremely, we actually have really fast underwriting, very, very quick turn times, but the loan officer has to know how to work that to make it work. And I think, didn't we just have to hold off on a closing this week for you, Tony, because you didn't have the full 7 days RESPA on the application yet?
Yeah, we just closed my row file, 7 days beginning to end, and
and it was ready.
Kind of what I specialize in.
We literally had to hold off. Yeah, so we literally had to hold off on closing the file because it did not have a. It's required that you have 7 days. The borrower has 7 days minimum with that application. So
you bring up
I do probably 2 or 3 save-it deals a month, and that was a save-it deal. In other words, one realtor couldn't get it done with their loan, with their lender, and that was a save-it deal situation where we took it from 0 to closed in 7 days. But in reality, I mean, after 16 years of doing this, and pretty much all I deal with are realtors, that's the kind of stuff that I specialize in.
Well,
and then he also has a ton of knowledge about condos, and I know that there's obviously a lot of condos in Florida, but he's the go-to guy for any condo questions and financing, especially, and how that could work. So obviously, just a great person to be in touch with.
So you bring up a great point, by the way. So all of the changes in the lender side are not necessarily communicated to realtors. Most realtors have no clue what you're talking about when it comes to financing, right? The new RESPA laws, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, the three of us should talk at some point and come up with an FAQ and then just go over it, maybe do a recorded presentation or something. Tony, you're talking, this is for May as well, but for us more in general, but you're talking about wanting to do presentations at realtor associations. That is what is needed, right? And it's a great way to get in front of people. And if we can book a couple realtor associations to do, go over the updated guidelines, they will send an email blast up to their database. And usually the database at realtor associations are huge, like the West Palm Beach Association, 10,000 members.
Nice.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your time. May, thank you for your time. We'll be in touch. Let's get that listing listed on this, and we can see how it goes from there. And I think that's all we got.
Absolutely. Yep. I'll be sending you some info here now, May, and just once you have a moment, reply it, and we'll get you all taken care of. Thanks, guys. Everyone have a great day, and I guess I'll talk to you next week, Chris.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time too, Tony and May.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.